Hi folks, this is Bryan Torresani. I'm the head baseball coach at Arcadia University. Really glad you're joining me today. I'm here to talk to you about a topic that is certainly something that I'm passionate about and I think can help individual players become more successful and ultimately help teams win baseball games, and that's hitting with 2 strikes. Close to 50% of at-bats at the pro and amateur levels get to 2-strike counts. And so at Arcadia, and our philosophy with hitting is we practice about 50% of the time with our hitting with 2 strikes and 50% of the time with less than 2 strikes. And we build that into our practice plan every day to make it more game-like for our hitters and help them have success. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the adjustments that we ask our guys to make with 2 strikes and some things that I think can lead to a higher level of success in hitting in 2-strike counts. At the major league level, the fielding percentages are so good that there is some merit to guys that strike out a little bit more when they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. The best team in Major League Baseball fielded 984 last year, and the lowest team in Major League Baseball fielded 980. So there was only a 4-point difference between the best and the worst fielding teams in the big leagues. At Division III, where we're at, the highest fielding team in the country fielded at 978, so below 980, and it lowers from there. So we feel like if we can put the ball in play with 2 strikes consistently and consistently hard, then we give ourselves a better chance to win at our level in a shorter season. Even if you take a look at this year's World Series champion, the Boston Red Sox, they were 5th in Major League Baseball in strikeouts. And last year's world champion, the Houston Astros, were number 1 in the league in fewest strikeouts per game, and they were number 1 in the league again this year. So I think it's becoming more in vogue in the major leagues to cut down on strikeouts, and I especially think that you see that come to fruition in big games and in playoffs, where the series are short, the opportunities are more limited, and the more chances for balls in play mean the more chances to score runs. So let's talk a little bit about some of the physical and mental adjustments that we have our guys make with 2 strikes that I think can help players at every level, little league, all the way up through high school and into college. So I'm going to start out with the bat, and we use a rule that we call the 2-2-2 rule. So the first part of the 2-2-2 rule is we ask our guys to choke up 2 inches off from where they start. Most of our guys are on the knob. We ask them to choke up 2 inches from the end of the bat. We will go through whole rounds in practice and whole days when we hit, where the whole day we're hitting with choked up grips, just to practice. All right, but with 2 strikes specifically, we're going to choke up. All right, 2 inches. We're going to move 2 inches closer to the pitcher, and we're going to move 2 inches closer to home plate. All of this is designed to give ourselves the best chance to hit the ball on the barrel. Again, we live in a world where data and statistics are easily attained, all right? And the reason that we move up on the plate is because at every level, we can start with the amateur level. About 90% of pitches, even with 2 strikes, are pitches that are designed to be away from the hitter or on the outside part of the plate. At college, that number drops down to about 80%, and in the big leagues, that number is about 70%. But still, an overwhelming majority of the time, pitchers are trying to get hitters out on the outside part of the plate, even with 2 strikes. So we're going to give our barrel the best chance to hit the pitch that's away from us. And the way that we do that is we move up a little bit on the plate. The reason we move up a little bit in the box, especially at the higher levels, the 2-strike counts are a lot of times off-speed counts. We want to get that pitch, that breaking pitch at a little bit higher level. Okay, we want to be able to see it in the hitting zone so that we're not chasing. All right, and so we're going to ask our guys to move a little bit forward towards the pitcher. That being said, even though we're making some physical adjustments here, we're not asking our players to cut down their swings. Their swings are their swings. The number 1 goal in our program for our hitters is to hit the ball hard, and we expect them and want them to do that even with 2 strikes. So if the pitch coming to us is something that we think is going to be a strike, and our mind and our brain is telling us to swing, we don't want to sacrifice bat speed. We want our guys to swing the bat with some authority, all right, and try to hit the ball hard somewhere. That being said, what pitches are we looking at? How are we thinking about hitting with 2 strikes? Well, we try to keep it as simple as possible, okay? one thing that we talk to our guys about is since we're up on the plate, we need to swing at pitches from white line to white line of the batter's boxes. Umpires at every level are not perfect. Okay, we need to know that particular umpire's zone that day. If he's giving pitches off the plate to their pitcher, presumably he's giving pitches off the plate to ours as well. And it's not an excuse in our program to say that pitch was off the plate. We tell our guys we'll fight for them on pitches up and down, but we can't fight for them on pitches side to side. They need to be able to have an approach and an ability to reach that pitch both off the plate away and potentially off the plate in. Not easy to do, okay? In terms of mindset, we want our guys on time for the fastball away, okay? That's gonna give ourselves a chance to get our foot down on time for that guy's fastest pitch, and if it's an off-speed pitch, we can adjust from there. So we wanna be on time for that fastball away. And the other thing we wanna do, especially since we're choked up, we have a little more back control, is we wanna bring that swing decision back a little bit towards home plate. Okay, we don't want to make that decision out closer to the pitcher in case that pitch is a breaking pitch that looks like a fastball coming out of the hand, ends up down and out of the zone. That's when we're going to swing over it. That's when we're going to chase, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So we got to try to bring that swing decision back a little closer to home plate. A couple last ideas, especially at the higher levels, high school coaches. You know, I said this in a previous video, players treasure what you measure. If you keep quality at bat charts, keep a separate chart that just charts quality at bats in 2-strike counts. Or if you want to keep it even simpler than that, keep your hitters 2-strike on base percentage. That's something we value in our program. That's a statistic that we use even when we have close position battles and guys fighting for spots in the lineup. We value guys that can get themselves on base with 2 strikes. So I hope you learned something today. Again, my name is Bryan Torresani from Arcadia University, and I'm here with Figure It Out Baseball. Thanks.